Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. Um, Welcome back after the midterm break. Um, let's see real quick how many people we have. We got about three people right now. If you could, for anybody that's listening, can you just type in like a hello, so I know who's here, and also can you just confirm that you can hear me okay? All right? All right, yeah, just type in the YouTube chat box, please. Okay? Okay, so it's the fourth class dealing with the IELTS writing. And again, this is a free course to everyone who would like to join. And just I have one request. If you guys, probably this will go for about 1 hour, because generally, in the past, the longer the live streams are on YouTube, it seems like there seems to be a bigger lag time. So we'll do it probably about 1 hour. But okay, so today we're going to talk about of course, IELTS writing. That's what this course is about. But what we're going to do is we're going to first focus on problem and solution paragraphs, what that entails. Okay, and then we're going to cover the problem and solution IELTS essays. Okay, so generally what's going to happen for your IELTS essays, I would say the majority of the time they're going to have an opinion essay, but sometimes it will vary. Sometimes you'll have an opinion essay, sometimes you'll have a problem and solution essay, sometimes you'll have an advantage slash disadvantage essay. So probably that's what we'll talk about next week, our advantages and disadvantages essay, where they'll give you a topic. So let's say if it's dealing with studying abroad, so then you'll have to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of both. Yeah, and I would say that when you're doing that, and again we'll talk about this more in next week's class, but generally anytime you write an academic essay, when you're talking about advantages or disadvantages or anything dealing with that where they have two sides, generally you'd want to state both sides, but you want to stress what you believe, which side is stronger. So if you're talking about studying abroad, you'll talk about how they have advantages and disadvantages, but there are more advantages than disadvantages. Or if you believe there are more disadvantages than advantages. But again, we'll cover that in next week's class. But today, we're going to talk about is problem and solution paragraphs. Okay, so let's get started here. Okay. Oh, let's see, who do we have here? We have so far. Oh, Tao. Okay, Tao. Good morning. Okay, and then we also have Dom Michai. So Dom Michai, good morning. I don't know if I know you, but you're more than welcome. Okay, all right. So problem and solution essays. Okay, so what you want to do is when you're given a topic for an IELTS essay, basically they're going to state the problem, and then what you want to do is you want to come up with possible solutions. Okay, so generally, again, what I stated before, for an IELTS essay, you have an introductory paragraph, a short introductory paragraph, then you have some body paragraphs, and then you have a conclusion. Okay, so again, for task 2, you want to have, let me type this here. You want to make sure the big criteria is obviously don't plagiarize. Okay, and but also you want to make sure you have at least 250 words. Okay, so make sure at least 250 words, and that's very, very important, because if you write less than that, it will affect your score. But there is no maximum number. All right, so you can write over 250 words if you want to. So generally speaking, what you want to do, you want to start off with your task one, which we covered in the first two classes. All right, you're gonna have 1 hour to finish everything. Okay, so the idea is to get task one done as soon as you can. I would say don't spend any more than 20 minutes on task one. Then that way, when you're when you move on to task two, you want to save at least 40 minutes of your time for task two. Okay, that way, because the way it's assessed is there's more emphasis placed on task two. So task one is has to be 150 words, and there's less emphasis on that, but there's more emphasis on task two. Okay, so then that way you have enough time to develop your essay for task two. And then what I'm going to cover at the end of the class is I'm going to actually, they're actually pretty long IELTS essays. So generally, so what you want to do is you want to have, I would say, a minimum one short introductory paragraph, at least 2 body paragraphs, and then 1 short conclusion. But I'm going to show you that actually you can. I'm going to give you an example of an IELTS essay that actually has about 6 paragraphs. So you're going to have 1 introduction, 4 body paragraphs, and then one concluding paragraph. All right. So keep in mind the minimum of 250 words, but there is no maximum. So if you write more, it can only mean that it can benefit you. Okay. All right. So let's get started here. Okay. So now, I forgot to do something, but we'll just keep it here. All right. So now, how about Tao or Dom? How about can you tell me? Can you type in the chat box? What is your opinion of online learning? Okay. Or how many people we have here right now? Well, we only have 3, but I guess the rest. Maybe in the future when I have this free online class, maybe I won't make it Friday morning at 9 o'clock. Maybe I'll make it in the afternoon, maybe Wednesday in the afternoon, because maybe getting up early on a Friday morning in the summer term not very popular. But okay, so what I'm going to give you. Let me add something here. I'm going to add a timer. Let me see here. Here we go. Okay, so I'll give you guys 2 minutes. I want you guys to tell me, for those of you that are here, write in the chat box, what is your opinion of online learning? Okay. So, what is your opinion of online learning? Okay, I'll give you guys about a minute and a half. Okay. So you guys have about 90 seconds. So please tell me, what is your opinion of online learning? Okay, so I'll give you my opinion of online teaching, I guess. Is that I actually like it. I don't think online learning should replace classroom learning. But I think it has some a lot of advantages. For example, I think it should. I actually love the blended learning approach, where you have online learning, and then you have some you have classroom learning put together. Okay, so that's what I prefer. Because then you can, let's say for example, if you missed an online class, then what you can do is you can always view the class online, because all of my classes, what I do is I will have about an hour and a half of online lecture. Then I also create about an hour of about 60 minutes of independent learning, and then we also do a short writing assignment that takes about 30 minutes. Then I also post usually about a 20 to 30 minute video, like a summary of the class. So in that way, you can let's say if you miss the class, you can view the class after after the class occurs. Let's see. We got a comment here from Tao. Tao says, online learning, the biggest problem should be difficult interaction. Yes. So yeah, I guess that is one of the difficult things. So I know with live streaming on YouTube, the problem is one is the lag. Yeah, the lag. Sometimes it is pretty bad. Sometimes if the internet is not very good. Also, we can live chat, but there is no video, no speaking. So that is one of the limitations with YouTube. But I actually prefer to use YouTube for my writing classes. So maybe in the future, if we do have writing classes, if I do teach writing classes and we do teach them online, I may use YouTube. But the problem with YouTube is that not everybody can see YouTube. Like for example, I know there are a lot of students. They're not in Thailand, and maybe some of the students, they're in their home country like China, and you can't view YouTube legally in China. So that is one of the difficulties. But yeah. Okay, so next one, it says, now, but then on the other side of it, I also use WebEx. This term I'm using WebEx because it's not banned in China. So yeah, I mean, it's good because I can use, we can have, you can use chat, then you can use, we have video, so we can speak interactively together with the teacher and the student. But one of the problems with WebEx is that if I try to record it, the quality is not really all that great. So that is one of the limitations. Okay. All right. So next, how about, can you guys tell me? Oh, ooh, Tao's got another comment. It says, how to make better use of app is the key to solve the problem. Okay. All right. All right. So then, Tao has a good suggestion where he says, first of all, when you're doing a problem solution essay, number one is you want to understand what is the problem. Then what you want to do is you want to find a solution. So Tao says the biggest problem should be the difficult interaction. Okay, so the interaction aspect of online learning, that's the most difficult problem. Next is, so Tao says for his solution is how to make better use of apps is the key to solve the problem. Okay, so tell me, Tao, or let's see how many people we have here now. Oh, we got 5, okay. All right, so anybody else, can you tell me which application should we use for online learning? Okay, so which application or app is best for online learning? What do you think? Okay, so again, I'll give you about, let me see here. I'll give you guys about 2 minutes. So tell me, which application do you think is best for online learning? Okay, so please type in the chat box. Okay, I'll give you guys 2 minutes. So for me, when the coronavirus hit, Actually, we were in the planning stages of trying to find out which online learning application would be best. And then within 2 weeks, then we actually had to all teach online. So I was actually learning from the very beginning. Okay, which application is best? And actually, like 10 minutes before my first online class was to start, I didn't know if it was going to work. So it ended up working, but I had it was kind of like trial and error, and each class got a little better. But yeah, so it was first I was using I used YouTube. Then other teachers were using the Google Meet, and I looked at that. I didn't really like that. And then you have Zoom, but Zoom is kind of it's good. It's good if you have like a meeting, but like like what I want to do is I want to have a nice platform where I have the PowerPoint in the background, and I have a chat box, and I have a small window for the webcam, and also I want to be able to use tools like a timer. So for me, and I know with Zoom you could have a custom background, but if you moved back and forth like this, sometimes your head would disappear. So I didn't really like that, but okay. So then that's when I decided to use YouTube for the writing classes, and then WebEx for the online classes. All right. So let's see what our comments are. We got a few comments here. So Tao, I like. Oh, Google. Oh, you mean Google Meet? Yeah, I don't know. For me, Google Meet, it's not. As a teacher, it's not that great because you have to have separate windows where you have your PowerPoint over here, you have your chat over here. What I like about the streaming on YouTube and also WebEx. WebEx is really good. You can have the PowerPoint as the background or as the foundation, and then you can put things on top. Like you can put a webcam on top, a chat box on top, and then also for WebEx you can also draw on the screen, which is really cool. Yeah, like I can draw like arrows and circle things, so that's why I like that. And then also Tao says because this app comes with voice translation, many I don't understand are automatically translated in Chinese. That's actually a really, really good tool. I saw that. So, yeah, maybe that's something to look in the future. So maybe in the future, maybe what I could do is I can use for parts of the lecture, sometimes use Google Meet, and sometimes use either WebEx. And then, oh, Ming, hello. I haven't seen you in a while. So, Zoom. Yeah, I think Zoom is good for meetings. I like Zoom for meetings. But if I'm having a class, again, I like to have a nice, clean background here where I can have the PowerPoints. But yeah, okay. These are all great solutions. All right, so let's get going here. Okay, so tell me, what is the problem and what is the solution? Okay, so I'm going to read this, but I'll give you guys 2 minutes, and I want you guys to type in, oopsie. I want you guys to type in the chat box. Tell me, how about let's say 3 minutes. 3 minutes, okay? 3 minutes. Tell me what is the problem and what is the solution. Okay? Oh my goodness. Looks like my my video stopped. Okay, but tell me what is the problem and what is the solution. Okay, so here I'll read it. So John didn't know what to take to school for show and tell. He asked his mother for an idea. She suggested he take the ribbon his dog won on the pet parade, or at the pet parade. Okay, so tell me, you guys, so we have, so far we have Tao and Ming, they've been commenting, but I haven't heard back from. Let me see who else is. I haven't heard back from. So Dom Michai, I haven't heard back from you. And let's see who else do we have here. So it looks like we have 6 people here now. Okay, so give me some comments. Okay, all right. So for those of you that don't know, show and tell. I'm not sure if you guys have this in your culture, but we have this in America in grade school or in elementary school. What we do is usually it's like once a week. And again, this is for kids, not usually for high school students or university students. But what you do is you bring in something from your house, and you bring it to class, and you share it with the class, and then you introduce it and you talk about it. So it may be you could bring in a toy, or you could bring in a tool, or so sometimes people would bring in their pets to introduce them to the class. Okay, who's here? Well, we got a comment here. It's from dun dun dun. Okay, visit Nepal year 2020. Okay, so this is yeah, I know who you are. But if you don't want people to if you want to have if you want to be um, confidential, that's okay. But yeah, so if you wanna, everybody, can you give me a comment, please, and tell me what is the problem and what is the solution? But I'm glad you can join today, and I hope you're feeling better, because I know you were sick last week. But okay, all right. So tell me, what is the problem, and what is a possible solution? What do you think? What do you think? So, again, so John, it's dealing with John. So who can tell me, can you type in, what is the problem? Who can tell me what is the problem? Does anybody know? Okay, if no one lets me know in 10 seconds, this stream will self-destruct. No, not really. So, okay. So the problem here is that now I don't know. Maybe there's a lag. But the problem is that John, he doesn't know what to bring to school for show and tell. So that's the problem. And then the solution is that his mother said, "Why don't you bring the ribbon he won at the pet parade?" So that's the solution. So the problem is, what should he take for show and tell? And then the solution is to bring the ribbon he won at the pet parade. And so again, so then when you're doing this, what does Ming say? Ming says, okay, problem, show and tell, solution, take the ribbon. Awesome. Very good. So, yeah, so with this, when you're writing an academic essay, then typically what you're going to do, if you're not, I'm speaking not in terms of IELTS, but in a typical essay, then what you want to do is you can write one paragraph talking about the problems and one paragraph talking about the solutions. And let me see, what does this say? It says, Tao says he is not confident. Okay. Yeah, but Tao, you want to be a little more descriptive in this. So he is not more confident, or he's not confident in what? So he's not confident in what to bring for show and tell. Okay? Yeah, so then what you can do when you write the IELTS essay, one possible solution is you can write a short introduction, and then one body paragraph talking about the problem, one body paragraph talking about the solution, and then a short conclusion. Okay, so then that would be 4 paragraphs, which would be enough. Just make sure, I would say, make sure that the that the paragraphs, the body paragraphs, are fully developed, at least 5 or 6 sentences. But then the introduction and the conclusion, it can be short, maybe 2 or 3 sentences. All right? Okay, so let's go to the next one here, which is, okay, so the second one, let me read this. So again, I'll give you guys 2 minutes here. So 3 minutes. Okay, you got 3 minutes. Tell me, what is the problem and what is the solution? Okay, so we have Visit Nepal said, the problem is John got confused and his mom suggested it. Okay. Tao, he needs a handsome suit. Maybe he can drink some wine. Really? Drink wine? Okay. All right. So now, okay. So the second one. Let me read the second one. Okay. Emily knew she had to get to school on time, but her mother said she couldn't drive her. Emily decided to leave early and walk to school. Okay. So tell me, what is the problem and what is the solution? So Emily knew she had to get to school on time, but her mother said she couldn't drive her. Emily decided to leave early and walk to school. So what do you think? Tell me, what is the problem and what is the solution? So I know when I was in high school, I was very lucky. I lived basically one block or one street away from my school. So I used to walk to school every day. But a lot of people, a lot of students in America, they take the bus, but you have to live kind of far away from school to take the bus. Where I lived, I didn't qualify because I lived so close. So I've actually never taken the school bus before. But that's how some students, when they go to school, they take the school bus, okay? But it looks like Emily, usually her mother would take her to school. Okay? So who can tell me? Can anybody tell me, what is the problem here? What is the problem? So, okay, so it looks like no responses yet, but so I'll just tell you. So the problem was that her mother couldn't drive her. So that's the problem. And then so the solution was that she decided to wake up early and leave early, and she walked to school. Okay? So again, when you're writing the IELTS paragraph, you want to have a short introduction, and then the next paragraph would be the problem. What are the problem, or what is the problem, or what are the problems? Okay, and then the second body paragraph, what are some possible solutions? And then the fourth paragraph is the conclusion and just a short summary of the essay. Okay, let's see. We got some comments here. So, okay, Visit Nepal said, problem, her mother cannot drive, and solution, leave home early. Okay, perfect. Very good. All right, and then Ming said the problem, Emily's mom could not take her to school. Good. Solution, Emily prepared to leave. Okay, so Emily prepared to leave early and walk to school. Okay, both of you, very good. Perfect. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next one here. Okay. So next one. So again, I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes. So read this to yourself. Okay. And then tell me, what is the problem and what is the solution? Okay, so I'll read it here for you guys. Okay. So, Mrs. Anderson wanted a fresh pineapple for her cake. The store near her did not have any fresh ones. So, she went to another store and bought it there. Okay. So tell me. So type really fast. Really, really fast. Okay. What is the problem? And what is the solution? So what is the problem? What is the solution? So I guess we're talking about, in this one, we're talking about Mrs. Anderson. So what is the problem? And what is the solution? Let's see. It looks like... Ooh, ouch. That's why. So there's a delay of about 30 seconds. So not so bad. So only a delay of about 30 seconds. Okay, so that would explain why the comments are slow, because there is a unfortunately there is a small delay. But tell me, okay, so what is the problem and what is the solution? Okay, we got about a minute here. Okay, so I'll tell you the answer, but rest of you please type in your responses. Okay, so it's dealing with Mrs. Anderson. So the problem was she wanted pineapple, fresh pineapple for her cake, but the store... Okay, I will pause because we got a comment here from Visit Nepal. So the problem is Anderson cannot find the pineapple. Okay, good. Solution is she has to go to another store. Okay, very good. Perfect. Yeah. So I guess maybe she wanted a specific type of fresh pineapple, but they didn't have it. So then maybe she had to travel to another store. So that was the solution. And are there any other comments? So Ming, are you there? Or Tao, or some of the other confidential members of this stream? Because I know looks right now we have 6 people watching. Okay, but probably one of them is my mother, and she's never gonna comment, but she'll usually post after the class, complaining about something I did. Okay, all right. And one of them is, the last time she told me, she said I said basically too much. So if I say the word basically, let me know. So I have to stop doing that. Okay, so we got another comment from Ming. Ming says, problem: she cannot get fresh pineapple, and the solution is she has to go find another store. Okay, good. Perfect. So it looks like the people commenting, just for right now, just Ming and Visit Nepal. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next one here. Okay. So let me start the timer again. Reset that. Okay, here we go. All right, you guys got 3 minutes. So by yourself, please read it, and then really fast type in the what is the problem and what is the solution. All right. Okay. So looks like here I'll read it. So Robert was afraid the flooding river would reach his home. His parents were away, and he was watching with his little sister. He saddled his horse, and he and his sister rode to the top of the hill. Okay, so tell me, what is the problem and what is the solution? So the word, in case you guys don't know, the word saddle or saddled. So in this case, this would be a verb. So if you saddled his horse, means he got on top of his horse, or he got on his horse. Because saddle, it can also be a noun. So this would be the saddle is where it's usually made of leather, and it's on top of the horse. And this is what you sit on when you sit on the horse. So you generally don't sit on the bare back of the horse, but you sit on the saddle. But yeah, okay. So tell me, what are the problem, or what is the problem, and what is the solution? It looks like we got about 30-second delay here. But what do you guys think? What can you tell me? What is the problem and what is the solution? So I know last time for the last screen with the problem and the solution, right when I started talking about the problem, then I got a comment really quick. Okay, so let's see if we can get some more comments. Okay. Oh, also on another note, is that if anybody is interested, I'm looking for a few more um, team leaders because we're gonna have we have a peer assisted learning center here. Um, so we have a peer assisted learning center here. And I'm looking for a few good team leaders. Now I know visit Nepal. Okay, I know you've already contacted May, and she told me that you're interested in helping out. So that we're really glad that you can be a part of this for next term. But if there's anybody, I'm looking for a few more. The spots, they tend to fill up fast. So if you're interested, please contact either me or the president of the English club. Her name is May. If you know her, please contact her and let me know if you're interested. So basically, what it entails is you would be you'd sign up and you'd come to the peer assisted learning center. You'd kind of be in charge of a block of time. So for example, we have 10 shifts. So Monday through Friday, you have a morning shift, afternoon shift. And the morning shift is 3 hours. And then the afternoon shift, it's 4 hours. But basically, it's pretty easy. You come here and you just make sure that the student peer mentors are helping the students. And you're making sure the students get their work done. So it is really easy. But I'm looking for responsible people. Also, you need to have a level B2 or higher to qualify for this. But if you're interested, please let me know. Also, another thing I'm really excited about is in term one. I plan on having. I want to have in the English club. I want to have 2 podcasts. So if you're interested in joining, please let me know. So basically, what it is, I want each group is going to have four members, a total of 4 members. And if you're interested in having like weekly put on the wall, and so I did part of that wall. I'll probably finish that today. And then the back wall behind me, that's going to take a little time because first I have to install some like a wood paneling to cover the window. Then I plan to put the pads on top. Then we swing around here. Okay. I have to do that one as well. Okay. So I'm about my plan is to be 75% done with this place, and by the end of this weekend, and then I want to put up a projector up here, and that way we can actually use the projector during the live streams. But yeah, so what it's going to be is this whole place. It would potentially be soundproof, have really great sound quality, and so then this would be the place. It has a new name. So this room, I'm calling it the Podcast Cave. Okay, and there's I'm actually really excited about. So I want to have the students have 2 weekly podcasts. So each group would do 1 podcast a week, and I'm looking for anybody. But also, I want to make sure that the podcasts are going to be lively. So I want to I encourage those people that are energetic, have lots of energy and lots of enthusiasm about this university. If that describes you, please contact me. And so we're going to start this. Hopefully, ideally, would be beginning of the term. So term 1. But I will have to train you guys on the software, this software I use. So I use this software. It's called this. So OBS Studio. So I use this for the live streams. Okay, but so if you're interested, please let me know. All right, so let's get back here. Sorry, I went off on that, but okay, so it said that visit Nepal. Problem, Robert's parents are away, and the solution is he saddled his horse with his sister, rode to the top of the hill. Perfect, okay, awesome job there. Okay, and then Ming. So Robert was afraid. So Robert was afraid of the flooding water, or the flooding river, and his parents were away. The solution is he rode to the top of the hill. Okay, yeah, rode to the top of the hill with his sister. Okay, awesome job, you guys. Very good. All right, so let's go to the next one here, which is okay. All right. Oh wow. Okay, next one. All right. So how about tell me, what is one problem with technology, and what is your solution? So you guys. So I want you to I'll give you guys 3 minutes here. This may be the last like problem solution scenario we're gonna cover. Because then after this, because we only have about 20 more minutes. Then after this, I'll cover how a typical problem solution essay should look like. Okay. But first, I will reset the timer. Give you 3 minutes. So now this is your own idea, so there's no wrong answer. But in terms of technology, what is one problem you see, and how can you solve it? Okay. So what I will say, one of the problems I see, well, obviously the big one. The big one here is, I guess in Thailand, is I think the internet speed, compared to other countries, even compared to America, the speed here is really, really good compared to other countries. But the problem is the ability to have electricity 24 hours a day, because that is a problem in Thailand. Is you have to just accept it that the power will go out. Just hope, and like the first class that we did here for this online class, the power went out, so I had to reschedule it for the afternoon. So that is one problem. But I would like to discuss with using this application. I use OBS Studio, which is really, really good. I love it. Using it with YouTube to live stream. The problem I see is the big problem I see is I wish that we could have. 'Cause it's great we have chat, okay, and chat works good I think for a writing class, because then you could write your sample sentences or topic sentences, and then you can get live feedback on any like grammatical problems from me or from a teacher. So that's really great. But the part that sucks is that there's no you guys can see me talk and see me, but I can't see you. And so that's what I hope in the future, that the live streaming from YouTube and also OBS is that in the future they could integrate something that like what WebEx does, which allows the teacher to see the students and to hear the students, because many times well, actually this summer term there are some students that are in my class but I've never met in person. So I know Visit Nepal, I know you very well. Ming, I know you, but some of the students I have in the summer, and some of them, they're all in China, and I've never met them before. So it's that is one of the disadvantages to online teaching. But let's look at Ming's comment. Technology is becoming more modern, and I can not use all functions. So you say I can't use all the functions of that program. Solution is I should learn to use it. Okay, good, that's good. So you want to expand your knowledge, and that's same with me. because in February and March, I didn't know anything about online teaching, but I had to learn very, very quickly. And after learning, I realized, well, this is really fun. And so now, my new hobby is I want to get into doing more podcasts. So this summer I'm really busy, but I'm hoping term one I can do my own podcasts, dealing with some of my other interests. So yeah, okay. So Visit Nepal said the problem of the problem with using technology is it makes people it makes people feel isolated from their own families. Yeah. The solution is easy to communicate with all over the world. Okay, so the solution is it's easy to communicate with people all over the world, in a second, or you can say instantaneously. Okay, yes, very good. Yeah, I know this is one of the problems. I know my mother. She's a very sociable person, except when during my online classes. I know she's just quietly listening right now, but I know in term one, are we still have? Ming says in term one, that hasn't been decided yet, but this is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that we can have both. So we can have like, this is what I'm hoping is I'm hoping that we can have half of the, well, so for example, each week you have a 3-hour class. I'm kind of hoping we can have like 1 hour online, 1 hour in class. But I think it's going to be, first of all, the university has to decide. And then whatever the university decides, then the teachers have to come up with a solution based upon that. But I'm predicting that they're gonna allow it, and it's gonna be up to the individual teachers to set it up. But I'm hoping I'm hoping we'll have it both, like blended. So you have like 1 hour in class, 1 hour, 1 hour of, so 1 hour of online class, 1 hour of traditional classroom learning, and then like a flipped classroom scenario. Okay, so you have classroom, live online lecture, and then some independent learning. So that's what, and I know Ming, I know probably you're going to take the ILE 125. That's a class I teach, and so what we'll do with that's the scenario I think we'll use. But again, we have to wait for what the university decides. But yeah, okay, all right. So, Visit Nepal said thank you so much. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, all right. So now let's go into. I want to skip some of these. We ran out of time. But we're going to do, I want to talk about the structure of what an IELTS problem solution essay would look like. So again, what I stated before was that generally speaking, I almost said basically, but I didn't. Okay, so, but in this case, for the most part, you expect to have an opinion essay for task 2. But again, sometimes there'll be a problem solution or advantage, disadvantage, and we'll cover that next week. So for this scenario, it is global warming is one of the world's biggest threats. Global warming is one of the biggest threats humans face in the 21st century, and sea levels are continuing to rise at alarming rates. So this is the problem. Okay, what problems are associated with this, and what are some possible solutions? Okay. So generally, what you want to do, you want to have an introductory paragraph, body paragraphs, and again, my preference is to have an small introductory paragraph, one paragraph talking about the problems, another paragraph talking about the solutions, and then a short conclusion or a concluding paragraph. Okay, and these examples, they're not mine. This is, and I'll give a reference to where I got it from. But this is from someone else that I found last night on the internet. Okay, so generally I prepare these classes the night before. So let's look at the sample essay. So this is the introductory paragraph. So, climate change is among the principal dangers facing people this century, and ocean levels are increasing dramatically. This essay will first suggest that the biggest problem caused by this phenomenon is the flooding of homes, and then submit building flood protection as the most viable solution. Okay, so this is actually a great introduction. It lets the readers know what the problem is, what they're going to talk about, and what the solution is. Okay, so this is actually really good. And you notice here the word dramatically. Okay, so I know in the first class I did for this online course, we covered some vocabulary words that are useful. And dramatically, this is another one that would be really good, not only for task 1, but also for task 2. Okay? All right. So next, body paragraph 1. The foremost problem caused by sea levels creeping up is the flooding of people's residences. Millions of people all over the world live in coastal areas, and if the sea rises by even a few feet, they will be inundated with water and lose their property. Shelter is one of the most basic of human needs, and widespread flooding would cause millions of people to become homeless, not to mention losing all of their possessions. The devastation brought about by this was clear for all to see during the 2011 tsunami in Japan, in which millions of people were displaced. And I was there. Yeah, for this tsunami. Well, first it was caused by the earthquake, then tsunami. And yeah, I remember I was working that day. And generally, you once you move to Japan, you get used to the earthquakes. But this one was a little different. I remember we were in the teacher's room, which is a big room, full with desks and teachers, and I'm sitting there. Actually, I'm just chatting with the other English teachers. One guy was from Wales, another guy was from, I think, his family was from Poland, but he was actually came from the UK, and we're talking there, and all of a sudden the earthquake start, and because I know my coworker, he's really he gets scared easily, and if anything happens, he's like, whoa. So yeah, so I was trying to play it up, and the earthquake was happening, and so I get up, you know, pretending I'm skiing. I'm like, hey, Richard, look at me. And then I'm looking over there, and I'm looking there. There's a printer on top of a table, and it's just, and it's getting pretty intense. And I start to get a little scared. And it felt like maybe it only lasted maybe 30 seconds, the initial one, but it felt forever. Felt like it was forever. And then so my first thought was, okay, well, we have to help the students. We're teachers, so we got to help the students. So I go out in the hallway, and I ask the teacher, you know, one of the Japanese teachers, what do I do? He said, oh, go to that classroom. So then I walk down the street, or walk down the hallway to the classroom. I look outside. The other two foreign teachers, one guy from, well, they're both from the UK. They were outside, running for their lives. So I thought that was really funny how, you know, we're teachers, we're supposed to help the students. And I was working at a junior high at the time. So students, generally, they're going to be 12 and 13 years old. But they were outside running for their lives. So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, that was an experience I will never forget. This in 2011, the earthquake and then the tsunami. So it was very intense. But okay, let's get back. Body paragraph 2. Okay, a possible solution to this problem would be to build flood barriers, flood defenses such as dikes, dams, and floodgates could be built along coasts and waterways, thereby stopping the water reaching populated areas. The Netherlands is one of the most populated areas in the world and also one of the most vulnerable to flooding, and they have successfully employed various flood defense systems. Okay, so if you look here, body paragraph 1 talks about the problems. Body paragraph 2 talks about the solutions. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're writing your essays. You want to have a short introduction, and then your first body paragraph, talk about the problems. Second one, talk about your solutions. Okay, and let's see what the next one is. And the concluding paragraph. So, to conclude, stemming the rising tides caused by increasing global temperatures is one of the foremost challenges we face and will ultimately lead to many of the world's cities being left underwater. But a possible solution could be to utilize the flood prevention techniques already used by countries like Holland. Okay, and this right here, so on 2019, that's where I got, that's where I got this essay from, and I'll show it in the reference more in detail at the end of class today. All right, so let's go to, we're running out of time here. Let's go to the second one. Okay, practice essay 2. Okay, so the problem is more and more wild animals are on the verge of extinction, and others are on the endangered list. What are the reasons for this? What solutions can you suggest to deal with this problem? Okay, so the problem is more and more animals are becoming extinct or going on the endangered list. So you got to find out that's the problem. And also part of the problem is you have to find out the reasons behind this. And then you got to come up with some solutions, okay? But this essay, it took a different approach. And there's a lot more than just 4 paragraphs, okay? So let's get going here. Okay, so wild animals are disappearing from our planet at a staggering rate. 2 main reasons for this worrisome development are deforestation and poaching. But there are measures we can take to control these threats and make sure we maintain healthy wildlife populations. Okay, so this one is taking a different approach. So they're telling us what the problem is and the reasons behind the problem. And then they finish off the introductory paragraph by stating, we have a solution, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. You got to read my paragraph. So this is actually a pretty good approach, because in the previous essay, you already told us the problem and the solution. So really, why should the reader continue reading your essay? Because you already gave all the answers up. In this scenario, it's kind of like they leave a little carrot for you. So they tell you the problems, the reasons behind the problems, and they're going to say, hey, I got a solution, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want you to read my full essay. Okay, so let's go to body paragraph 1. Okay, so as the demands for resources increase, our forests and the animals that live in them are suffering. With every acre of land lost to industrial timber harvest, wildlife habitats are shrinking, and the species that relied on them are dying out. This is true in the United States, where forests owned by lumber companies, which make up 60% of all forests in the country, are losing the natural richness that keeps thousands of plants and animals alive. Okay, so this paragraph 1 looks like they're talking about the problem and the reasons behind the problem. Okay, body paragraph 2. However, today some governments are working to help forestry businesses harvest in a responsible way while protecting and restoring the land for wildlife. These governments are providing financial support to ensure that habitats are restored and safeguarded. This is evident in the United States, where large sections of privately owned forests are being cultivated and preserved forever with the help of government grants. Okay, so this is talking about one possible solution, about how the government is intervening in the private sector to protect forests and wildlife. Okay, body paragraph 3. After habitat destruction, poaching, which involves the illegal killing, hunting, and capturing of wild animals for sale, is the biggest threat to wildlife. Ooh, a little mistake there. There should be no space after the period. I'll have to fix that. Consumer demand for animal body parts for medicines or trophies is increasing, and millions of animals, birds, plants, and marine life are killed every year. More specifically, a recent report stated that wildlife trade accounts for the killing or capture of 100 million tons of fish and 1.5 million living birds annually. Okay, so this one, this is one they're talking about some of the reasons behind it, or behind the problem. Okay. Body paragraph 4. Although illegal wildlife trade is a huge challenge to overcome, some countries are stepping up their efforts to protect animals, and it's working. These governments are taking the problem very seriously by creating strict laws and providing the funding to create militaristic and anti-poaching enforcement units to catch and punish trappers and hunters. This is the case in Mali, where highly skilled teams of soldiers have been able to successfully protect the elephants in a reserve since 2017 without the loss of one animal. Okay, I need to get something. My mouth is really dry. Just one second. Yeah, you consider this. You can consider this product placement. Okay. Anyways, so so this one is talking about, again, some of these solutions. Okay, let's go to concluding paragraph. So, our world is in danger of losing more and more animal species every day. If governments take the issue seriously and work to replenish habitats and stop poachers, future generations will also be able to enjoy the benefits of sharing the earth with these magnificent beasts. Okay, and this is where I got it from. IELTS Essentials 2019. So at the website. Okay, so this one, the structure was a little different. To be honest, I like the structure of essay number 1, and it's simple, and a lot of this one here, it's a great academic essay, but they're using, for example, they're using a lot of the data that may be available to them on the internet, but when you're taking the IELTS test, you're not going to have access to this information. You're not going to know the topic, so you're not going to be able to prepare. You're not going to have the topic in advance, and you're not going to be able to prepare for this before the exam. So you're not going to know what data to use. So what I would do, personally, I would use the structure they use for the first one. Okay. It's simple, and it's simpler to write and simpler to assess, and it gets to the point. So, for example, you have an introductory paragraph that it'll tell you the problem and the solutions. So then, body paragraph 1 is talking about the problems. Body paragraph 2 talking about the solutions, and then last one, your concluding paragraph. One thing I do like about the second essay is that it gives you a little tease, okay, where it'll tell you the problems, the reasons behind the problems, and then it tells you, hey, I got a solution, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to wait and read it. Okay, so I would actually, if I were you, and if you do take the IELTS test, I would actually use the structure of paragraph 1, the structure of essay 1, but also integrate it with the introductory paragraph for essay 2, where they talk about the problems, the reason behind the problems, and a possible solution, of which I'm not going to tell you yet. So I would use that approach. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we are. Let's go to the next one here. All right. So let me talk about the homework. So this is not mandatory, but if you want to, I'm I can help you guys out. So just send it to my email here, and maybe in the title, the title of the email, because I get a lot of emails every day. Just write in online IELTS writing course. That way I'll know what it is. And then yeah, so the topic is it's overpopulation of urban areas has led to numerous problems. Okay, identify one or two serious ones and suggest ways that governments and individuals can tackle these problems. Okay, so basically, just do what we did today. Talk about identify the problems, identify the reasons for these problems, and then identify possible solutions. Okay, and just send that to me. And these right here, these are the references where I got the essays from. And if you look online, there's a lot of references for IELTS writing, and also the other parts of IELTS exam, like listening and speaking and reading. Okay. All right. Well, that's about it. We're finished for today. So again, let's see how many people stuck around. Oh wow, we still got 5. Okay. So I guess we're finished for today. And if you want to, you can send me your essay, and I'll be happy to look at them for you and assess them. In the meantime, so we're finished for today. And next week we'll continue talking about Task 2, writing the IELTS writing Task 2, and then I guess next week the focus will be on advantage and disadvantage essays. All right. So we're finished, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay. Bye bye.